Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, first off, Happy New Year. I hope everyone have a very good year this year, and I hope nobody has issues with recent flooding. Because if yes, then most probably your PNP learning and pembelajaran pengajaran is going to be affected lah. But that said, um, try your best as you could to finish this up lah, because your mini project is actually around 20 to 30% of your overall carry mark. And be reminded that some of you, the what you call that, the continuous assessment has actually been done for your hands-on lab. So again, for the normal lab, lab 1 to lab 7, I have actually graded your practical efficient, what do you call that? Practical lab conduct, and there's already marked there. So if you found that your what you call that, the lab marks to be insufficient, so your mini project is going to help you whether you're going to pass or get an A. But I think most of you guys would be able to pass. It's just that whether you're able to get an A or not. And this mini project supposedly to help you to conduct a good forms of report formatting. So in the sense of for you to do your FYP later on. So this is going to be a preliminary reporting, what do you call that? Preliminary reporting stages lah maksudnya. Maksudnya ni awal-awal ni is for how you are able to conduct a very concise, a very good technical paper that you will be doing in your FYP. So this is more like a training ground lah for you to do your technical paper for your FYP. That said, there are some stages that I would like to do from here on out, given that, if I'm not mistaken, let me share the planner. A second. Planner. Okay, so this is the planner. So given the recent emergency, what do you call that? Emergency holiday given by UiTM, mandated by UiTM. So we have actually took week 10 and week 11, the whole week here for our semester break. And we'll be continuing week 11, week 10 and last week is supposedly, normally we'll count that as week 11 for the semester, but since it's semester break, then week 11 is continued from this week onward. But since due to the emergency semester break given, so now we'll be pushing week 11, week 12, week 13 and week 14. So week 14 here, instead of you doing your week, I'm not sure which week this is, but the study leave, supposedly you guys are able to take leave here, but is it this one? Supposedly this one, but never mind. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more week that that I am able to use, that you guys are able to use to complete your mini project progresses lah. So 1 whole month basically before you start your final exam week. So that said, I think week 11 to week 14 here is going to be very hectic for you guys, given that all of the subjects that you guys took part this semester are going to try to finish up by week 14 and the study leave. So try your best as you could to finish your mini project here by week 13 or week 14 because I believe week 13 and week 14 here going to be a lot of presentation. There's going to be a lot of tests. So try to complete your mini project by before that time lah. I'm unable to say which is the best suited because I don't know the whole semester's punya subjects punya schedule, timetable. So that's it. Try to do your mini project as quickly as possible because all the technical knowledge, know-how, you have already know it. If you do it immediately, I think you wouldn't have any issue lah without any guidance pun insyaAllah boleh. Okay, so remember you have one whole month. Despite having tons of tests or assignment, you have to complete it within this month before you started your final exam. And by this time around, all the marks, for me, I need to submit all your carry mark by the 7th, I guess, the 7th of January. So if you haven't submitted your mini project or you haven't submitted any of the lab reports, then that's it lah. That's going to be your carry mark to the end of the semester. Okay, but regardless, this is 7th of February, sorry. Regardless, I hope this year going to be a very good year for you guys because we are still in ODL mode, not a full F2F lecture yet, and try your best as you could to fulfill all the requirement by subject, right? Okay, so first off, what are the topics that you guys can do for your mini project? Let me check this. So I think this is going to be a very good explanation. Okay, so it will be in group. For mini project, it will be in group. You have to present and you have to provide a report, which laboratory practically basically it's up to me. I'm not going to ask you to come into the lab for me to give you 20%. I'll just evaluate based on your report and presentation. But all in all, it will be what 5, 6, around 30% lah, 27%. This is not actually, this is from past years, yeah. So tak payah nak follow sangat. For this semester, it's around lebih kurang juga lah 25% if I'm not mistaken. But it will be for mini project, it will be done in group, and there's no one long report has already been done, but basically one long report ni is the report, mini project report lah. And you have to have an element of sustainability that can be assessed within that report or that mini project. So sustainability ni maksudnya any kind of benda tu bukan one off. Maksudnya kalau pasang circuit for what example I can give alarm system. Once the alarm system has been turned on and that's it, and then there's no what it meant by sustainability, that alarm system must be working at least 2-3 years down the road. So that means there should be proper grounding, there should be that alarm system apa lagi yang boleh buat one off. Maknanya circuit tu stable, all the power is sufficient, not just using batteries. So if possible, incorporate any kind of green technology lah in your proposed topics. I'm not going to constrain you on what topics is going to be. It's up to you and your group to decide which topic that you want to use. But if possible, try to make sure to adhere to sustainability. Maksudnya benda tu tahan lama lah. Either jangan pakai bateri lah basically. So kalau tak nak pakai bateri, maksudnya you have to get the power source from wall socket, which you have to step down, step up depending on your circuit. And then also to make sure kalau kena lightning ke apa, dia boleh work. And but this is all in terms of circuit design ya, apa yang kita dah belajar from lab 1 up until lab 7, tu je tools yang korang kena pakai, tak perlu buat physical, tak perlu buat physical circuit or what not. You don't have to provide proof of concept in terms of physical, just simulation. So as you can see, you guys can actually finish this up. Cuma maybe long report tu je lah yang akan take time on week 13 or 14. But the circuit itself, you guys can actually complete it if you give 1 day, maybe 2 hours for this mini project. You guys can actually start to finish it even this week pun sebenarnya. Just that the idea nak the topic itself tu je yang maybe going to take some time to decide what circuit that you're going to do. Circuit, I'm not saying just circuit, it's anything, because you remember you're using you've learned on lab 1 to lab 7, in fact, AutoCAD and whatnot lah. So AutoCAD, maybe for example lah, in my case, for example that I could give to you. Okay, I prefer circuit, so I'll use what do you call that, Tinkercad to design an Arduino circuit for, let's say, plant watering system, automatic plant watering system that can be controlled via that can control and monitored via IoT. So I'm using Tinkercad to construct all the necessary circuit using Arduino and water, soil sensor, soil moisturizer sensor, humidifier, temperature, whatnot lah, and also control valve to control the piping for watering the plant. So all that circuit I'll be using Tinkercad, make sure it works from the simulation, and set the parameters if the temperature falls between this, if there's no, or the water soil is very dry, then open this and whatnot lah, all the code and whatnot. Make sure all the simulation are able to capture the supposedly coding yang you guys buat, yang saya buat. Contoh for example, for it to moisture, to power plant, power pula tu, my English pagi-pagi ni serabut lah. To water the plant when the soil is too dry. Okay, and then in order for you, if let's say lah, for the user to monitor, I'll send the data using the one that they've learned, cloud services tu, for IoT, using ThinkSpeak ke apa ke. Again, simulation, just show that the data is being sent to ThinkSpeak, and then compile the data using online databases that we have learned from lab cloud computing tu. And then maybe design the housing of the, what you call that, sensor yang terlibat Arduino semua tu, sebab dia nak letak kat outdoor kan. So kena tahan angin, kena tahan panas, kena tahan ribut, kena tahan hujan. So you have to design a proper circuit using AutoCAD lah. Housing using AutoCAD to design to house all the Arduino as well. So that you have to mention, you have to take note of the dimension of the Arduino, the end result of your circuit, so that the enclosure of the enclosure of the circuit tu are able to withstand all the environmental element lah outside. So tak perlu buat physical, but you have to show to me the design, make sure the dimension is correctly measured according to the overall circuit, and then show to me that if you're using IoT, all the data has been stored properly in ThinkSpeak, and show the recorded data being sent from the IoT to whatever cloud storage computing. So as you can see, I'm already using 3 labs there. Tinkercad lab, I'm not sure which one, lab 2 I guess, cloud computing, and also AutoCAD, which is lab 7. So tu memang full mark lah dapat for 25% mini project. Cuma of course depending on your reporting, make sure all the element of the reports is already there. Okay. So group ni, can somebody confirm to me when we did, if I'm not mistaken, for your long report, I've already divided you guys into one group 2%, right? Earlier this semester. Betul?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for this mini project, rather than doing that, because I have also another class, so I would rather you guys to form one group 4 person. So that, because remember, the example I've discussed, that I've just said just now, you might want to use a different sets of lab to complement each other for the whole project. So rather than 2 person, dua orang buat long report lah, buat lab tu, buat design circuit, buat upload data and whatnot in the whole 1 month ni, I would rather korang distribute kerja tu, and saya pun tak perlu nak monitor ramai sangat group. That said, I prefer you guys to form a group of maximum 4 person in one group. So maybe ada certain group maybe just have 3, but most of you will be able need to submit to me the name of a group, the list of the group which has 4 person maximum in it. If tak cukup 3 orang tak apa, tapi if you guys have only 3 person, make sure to scale down your project appropriately lah. Kalau tak, nanti banyak sangat kerja dalam masa sebulan ni. Tak nak So make sure satu group hanya 4 orang maximum. Okay, so first kita tengok yang ni dia punya format submission ni, report. So satu group 4 orang, yang kelima ni saya tak nak lah, maksimum 4 orang. Kalau perlu pun satu group 3 orang. Kalau terlebih tu, then nanti beritahu saya akan appropriately allocate groups lah. But for now, you decide yourself which team members that you want to form with. Satu group tu 4 orang. Okay, and then you have to, in your report, should have abstract, introduction, what kind of material and method included in your proposed project. You have to have the system diagram, block diagram, and then show to me, of course, this is in a report, so you can't show to me in real time how the operation works, but you can just show to me stages by stages lah. Okay, for example, macam tadi, garden watering system, automatic garden watering system, show to me, okay, at this area, okay, valve ni tak bekerja. And bila bekerja tu, if I'm not mistaken, Tinkercad kalau kita pakai valve, apa nama? DC motor tu, kalau dia on atau tak on, dia ada simbol yang keluar dekat atas itu, kat tepi dia tu. So I'll know that the DC motor is on. But for some, let's say lah, sensor yang tak boleh nak show in simulation, macam contoh for example RFID, to show that it detects or not, then just because RFID in Tinkercad, you can't actually show all the wave being sent, data being sent, receive, semua tu tak boleh. So what you should do is maybe use relay ke, a symbol of relay tu, so bila dia work, dia akan rotate, dia akan buat animation rotate tu, so capture one of the animation and post it down lah. So again, nanti sama FYP pun sama ni. Ramai student saya yang buat FYP, apparently dia tak tahu yang memang circuit dia pakai RFID, infrared, apa semua, IR sensor semua tu. Tapi dia tak tahu nak tunjuk macam mana circuit tu berjalan, coding tu berjalan menggunakan Tinkercad simulation, because dia rasa dalam simulation tak boleh capture, tunjuk macam mana IR tu bekerja. Memang betul tak boleh, tapi guna creativity sikit. Maksudnya gantikan IR punya yang end result tu dengan maybe switch turn on, turn off. Bila data tu hantar, switch tu akan turn on and menunjukkan IR tu is actually currently working. Provided practical punya connection semua okay, then simulation could reflect that lah. So have to be creative there, sebab markah waktu presentation untuk menunjukkan circuit jalan tak jalan tu, kalau physical awak memang masih lagi macam baru-baru ni, progress work, masih ramai lagi yang dia punya circuit not fully complete yet. So what happen is, dah lah simulation tak berjalan, so practical hands-on punya circuit pun tak jalan. So maka terpaksa tolak banyak. So tak nak. So if let's say your physical circuit isn't complete yet, at the very least in your simulation, show that your coding is working by substituting the infrared circuit, the whatever circuit that is not being able to show in the simulation, using a switch ke, relay ke, menunjukkan perubahan state lah. yang boleh menunjukkan perubahan state whenever the code is turned on or turned off or certain range yang you guys have set. Ni nanti as we go along I'll try to explain lah code nanti ada. Sepatutnya if I'm not mistaken for this mini project every week during class time I'll be requesting update from you guys. So I guess it's best for me to do that rather than leave it up to you guys. Okay, tapi tak apa, tu nanti saya akan explore. Saya akan explain. But system operation, make sure kalau you guys pakai something yang tak boleh nak show on the simulation, try substituting that element, relay ke dengan apa, IR ke apa, container ke apa yang you guys pakai tu dengan something yang workable dalam simulation tu yang boleh menunjukkan perubahan state. On, off, 50%, 60%, 30% macam mana. Ada elemen-elemen dalam tu yang you guys kena explore. Okay, schematic diagram, biasalah schematic diagram, all the drawings, either AutoCAD ke, either Tinkercad ke, ataupun example of your table from cloud computing punya data logging tu, show it in the schematic diagram ni lah. Okay, design procedures, how you did your ni, macam korang buat yang korang punya apa nama tu, lab, short lab tu, ada dia punya apa nama, stages by stages kan, korang tepek dekat dia punya lab sheet tu. So use that, of course kena elaborate sikit lah how you arrive at the end product. Okay, result and discussion, you have to show to me the end result as a result of your work tu, and conclusion whether it's working or not, what further improvement can be done, what element kat sini lah, especially if you want to highlight to me what element of sustainability that you guys have adopted in your project. Kat sini lah, so that saya nampak kod-kod lah. Daripada sini saya tak nampak ni bukan sustainable ni nanti kan kena pakai bateri, most probably cukup masa kena tukar bateri pula, so tak sustainable lah. Maksudnya kena beli bateri always. Of course kat sini you guys have to, if let's say lah tak sustainable, you guys rasa tak sustainable, kat sini justify lah. Okay, maybe bateri tu tak boleh, tapi kalau kita tukar lipo bateri which is rechargeable, and maybe 5 years time only, then you need to change the battery, then maybe in the future can adopt solar punya powering lah instead of battery. Okay, and then this is all the rubrics that I'm going to use to give you scale off lah. Okay, and then we look into some guidelines. Okay, again, I have to have abstract keywords, introduction method. Okay, basically this is how you do your technical paper. You have to have keywords. So let's say for example, okay, abstract to abstract, self-explanatory. So I don't want to elaborate on that. But abstract is basically all the simplification, summarization of the introduction, of the methodology, of the result, and conclusion lah. So all of that has to be summarized in 100 or around 100 words lah in abstract. Keywords is if let's say I'm trying to Google your project, what are the keywords that I can use? Macam tadi saya buat plant watering system, so saya taruh Arduino, plant watering system, IoT, and then automatic control, for example. So 4 or 5 keywords should be good. This is basically up to your nilai, creativity jugalah nak namakan your keywords ni. And introduction, methodology, result, discussion ni dah bincang tadi. And references, make sure you guys have to follow IEEE punya format. Biasa-biasakan IEEE because we are electrical engineers. Even you dah sampai PhD pun nanti memang banyak pakai IEEE lah. Jarang for engineering nak pakai EPA or other kind of formatting. But IEEE supposedly even journal Q1 pun memang nak IEEE sebab cantik dia punya susunan. Okay, section can be named differently and also the subsection. So section and subsection so ni lah material and method. Ni subsection dia. So up to you what you want to name it. But the general guidelines, system diagram, block diagram, system operation, schematic diagram, design procedure ni should be adalah elemen-elemen 5 ni dalam your subsection. Cuma nama dia tu up to you whether you want to name it on your own. Okay, and then the report times New Roman 11 font size should not exceed 5 pages because we are doing technical paper. So if you sampai your FYP nanti pun memang akan buat nak tak lebih 5 pages. And this one, is it using double column? No, single column. Okay, so single column mudah lah. Tak payah nak fikir sangat format. But maksudnya just make sure tak lebih 5 pages lah. Okay, you can include figures, tables, image, and size of A4 page size. Ni semua follow je lah ya. Okay, and then but pages should not be numbered. Most probably because nanti sekarang bila korang nak tambah-tambah page or nak buang page nanti pening nanti. Especially bila nak tambah headers ni. Ni tak ada headers ke? Ni macam ni. Ni pun tak juga. Okay, tak apalah. But basically, kalau buat technical papers, memang tak ada pages. Actually, they are yang perlukan pages. But tak apalah, kita follow je ni. Tak perlu pages. Pages should not be numbered. So, page 1, page 2, page 3 tu tak payah numbered, biar je. Okay, supporting figures boleh. All the tables image should be centered. So, ni tengah-tengah. Bukan left justified or right justified. Memang tengah-tengah justified. Figure, and then ayat dia pun justified maksudnya justified tu kalau kita buka words tadi. Hold on ya, let me open words. Okay, let's say I'm typing like this. On. Ni tak justified nampak ada ni. Ini tak justified. So, in order for you to justify, tekan ni. So, nampak dia fill up the whole ni. And figures, especially tables and whatnot, tak boleh left justified, tak boleh right justified, tak boleh center. Dia memang kena, dia kena center. Tak boleh center. Dia kena center. Kalau image, ni, image, figure semua ni, memang kena center. But the text you have to justify so that nampak macam ni, proper, cantik, kemas. Okay, and then there should also be numbered, figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, make sure table 1, table 2, table 3. Figure and table nombor dia berbeza, so kalau figure 1, and then you ada pula table tu boleh namakan table 1. But kalau figure 1 dengan figure lain, kena figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4. Kalau table 1, table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. Tapi figure and table do not share the same number. Figure that in a paper can be figure 1 and table 1 together at one page. Tak kisah. And table header should be placed at the top. Figure should be placed at the bottom. Okay, so tengok. Figure punya label is at the bottom. Table punya text will be at the top. So that's the difference. Reference of the table should be presented right under the table. Ni lah reference ni lah. This is the reference, which is the text explaining what table, which table this is, or what is the description of the table, basic description. Okay, so this is how I will be giving you marks. Use it for your report. Clarity, coherence, and systematic. So not so much on whether the circuit is working or not, but more on how well you write your report. Okay, this is more on reports, but for presentation, of course, depend on your workable circuit lah. Okay, and then this is an example of mini project punya report. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. But because UiTM Penang also include degree program, so they might have slightly more students than we have. So that's why they need to have one group up to even 6 or 7 people in the group. But for us, since we are not that many, so one group is just 4 person here maximum. Okay, so abstract, ni baca sendirilah, takkan saya nak baca sampai apa page ni. But basically, abstract is summary. Macam ni, dia bagi summary, introduction, methodology, result, what, and then the result of the circuit that you've done, and also the conclusion in one whole sentence, not more than, how many words is this? Tunjuk word count. Normally not that many, but 225. So not more than, maybe because they're using apa font sebelum. Typically when I did my technical paper, it shouldn't be this long. It will be around 200 maximum, 150 to 200. The more concise your abstract is in explaining all your methodology and whatnot is good lah, is better. So macam ni panjang sebenarnya 250 ni. But again, I do note that this may be going to be your first time doing technical paper, so I'm not going to put it against you. But try as best as you could to constrain your abstract within 150 to 200 words. Not that much, not this much. This one is already too much for me, 250. Okay, keywords, let's say for example, in this case, business intelligence, W public, and Google platform, because they are not so much on circuit, it is more on using, what is this? Introduce the use of Google and tablet platform, monitoring and managing final year project. So this is just about data storage, cloud computing. So the first keyword that they put here is related to the target area, target field. Let's say for example, this one, since they're using cloud computing to store their management process, so it's more catered towards business intelligence on using Google platform. And then the platform itself, which is W public, and then and also the Google platform that they are using. So for us, if let's say for my case example that I've just discussed, which is using plant watering system, I'll be putting smart watering system here, for example, plant watering system or from automatic plant watering system, IoT, because I'm targeting IoT punya audience. And then the platform I'm using, Arduino, and most probably cloud computing lah. Cloud storage. So I have 4 keywords. So the keywords here, if you're not convinced yet on whether it is a correct keywords to be used or not, you can revert back to me. But I will ask you what project. So make sure you already know what type of platform you're trying to use. Make sure you know how what is the target area, and then I can give you some suggestions on the keywords. But try your best first, because I'm not going to, takutlah nanti semua orang pun tanya, saya pun nanti kan tak terjawab pula few of you. So make sure, try dulu, taruh keywords ni kalau tak tahu, buat je dulu, and then I'll try to get back to you the proper keywords for your project later on down the road lah. So ini jangan ikut, ni 12 font size, tapi kita punya rule dah state we have to use 11 font size. Maybe this is the new one, this is the old example, and beside this is more towards business punya school, so maybe that's why they want to use 12 fonts, so biarkan. But we will be using 11. Oh, sorry, this is just for the introduction. Okay, sorry, what do you call that? The label, the tajuk, the subject. Introduction, so introduction 12 font size. So yang ni ikutlah, boleh lah nak ikut 12 font size ke 11 ke, I don't have any issues with it. The one that has been stated above is actually on the element dalam label itu, which is 11 font size lah. Okay, literature review, especially if you doing technical punya ni paper, the one that is actually required of you, you have to include literature review. which means previous studies. Previous studies that has been done on the same subject. For example, plant watering system. I'll go into Google. Let's say, for example, let me bring this up. Okay, let's say this is my Google plant watering system. Okay, there's Shopee, there's some article here. Okay, the rule of thumb is for your reference, typically lah, if you want to do your FYP later on pun, you can only include one internet-based reference. Let's say, for example, this one. You can use this, you have to follow IEEE punya format, basically. You have to follow the proper format and you can use only one internet-based sources. But you must put priority over journal, for example, this one. You must put priority over journals that has been published because this has been scientifically verified by other researchers. Hopefully lah. But typical journal should have lah because journal ni memang ada peer review. So yang ni tak ada orang boleh dispute. Yang ini nenek saya boleh tulis ni. Semalam dia on upload dekat website, okay, kata okay macam ni, macam ni, macam ni, macam ni. Tapi sebenarnya tak betul pun. Whereby this one, maybe that particular reviewer is actually the one involved and have a lot of experience using buat sistem plant watering system. Then ambil artikel ni and then cite. This is how you cite IEEE. Nampak? Ada number one. Okay, number one and dia ada nama author. Ni kalau korang pakai Mandela ke apa ke boleh lah. Tapi for now tak payah. Ikut je dulu format ni. IEEE macam mana. Nama dulu. Tajuk dia. Publish kat mana. And then detail-detail journal tu lah. So macam mana nak pakai ni. Okay, one. So dia akan refer to number one which is statement tu. Dah zoom in susah pun nak cari. Hold on, let me. Ini tak bagus channel ni. Okay, this is not a good example. Seriously, I don't know why they passed this in the journal. I guess this journal isn't as good as ke tak bagi lagi. Just a proceedings. But supposedly, okay, let me find a better journal. That is not how you do your citations. I think this one is good because it has been cited. Okay. Ni actually I have the access, but in order for me to get that, I have to open all sorts of tabs. So I don't want to do that. I just want to show to you a simple journal on how to use citation. Lah, buat macam ni. I think this one can be a good result, hopefully. Okay, this is good. So for example here, number 4, basically what your reference how you should do your reference. Okay, after you read that literature, just get the statement that you want to use to refer to your project. For example, I mean, if you read the journal, there's tons of words in there. Just point to the one that may be good for you. For example, for my plant watering system, previous study did not use IoT. They only send data directly to the mobile phone. So I cite that work, and I stated that in previous studies, in these studies, number 4, there is a hassle of sending data towards the mobile phone because it incurs SMS charges. Sebab kalau hantar data daripada IoT tu, you kena install prepaid dekat your Arduino base tu, and then hantar data, you will be charged lah berapa sen SMS tu. But using IoT, it is almost free, except that now you have to log in to your house punya Wi-Fi lah. So cuma itulah saya highlight, not the whole sentence journal tu, just ambil saya punya summary, the downside of that work ke, ataupun what method they have been done ke, and then cite that paper, which is number 4. And then if you go to reference, number 4 will be the person punya article tu lah, the one that you are referring to. So that's how you do your citation. So I think this journal isn't very good. I'm not sure dia bayar lah saja ni, selang selepas, sebab ada reference tapi tak ada citation tu. So this is not a good result. A good journal. So boleh abaikan. Okay, and then methodology. Okay, ni baca sendiri. System diagram, what involves in the system diagram, what the block diagram is, schematic diagram. Make sure the schematic diagram capture all the proper circuits or design that you have done. AutoCAD ke apa ke. And then result discussion, references. Okay, this is technical paper that you need to adhere towards lah. Okay, and most probably I think they're going to publish this paper to respective journals. So make sure, there will be a lot of formatting we will be focusing on later on. But for now, just use this as your guideline lah. And all this has been uploaded in your link summary. I've just uploaded it this morning, and you can find it in mini project here. If you open the link, okay, the one that I've just discussed, this one. What is this? Is under this one? Yeah, under mini project report guideline. Okay, and the next one is an example from 8am-12pm on how they approach this. So this is an example of the project briefing done in 8am, but this is more, this is back then lah. I think the requirement is a little bit different because again, this is 35%, where for us it's more on 25 or 26%. Okay, and then there's the same thing you have to, but this is more on reporting, not so much on technical paper. The one that we are trying to do later on will be technical paper. This is, I guess, semester October, February 2021, last semester punya ni lah. So they have introduction, circuit design, assess. Oh, no. This is just a briefing. Sorry. Okay, so 4 to 5 members, the same as us, will complete electronic application in finding well-defined engineering problems in societal and environmental context. Okay, I forgot to mention, all the topics that you want to select must adhere towards this. Finding solution to address problems in societal and environmental context. So plant watering system tu baguslah sebab saya address problem rather than dia punya owner tu, dia punya apa, plant owner lah. Plant owner tu nak kena tiap-tiap petang pergi water the system. Kalau balik kampung tak boleh water the plant. Now I provide them with the automatic watering system that for them, diorang pergi overseas sebulan 2 bulan pun boleh water their plant, so plant dia tak mati. Okay, so it's a well-defined engineering problems. Maksudnya you're not trying to solve something new. You're not trying to control NASA punya spacecraft punya landing system ke apa, tak perlu. You're not world solving problem. This is just diploma stage punya area. So you don't need to go that high, but so that korang tak perlu ada apa, So korang ada reference yang solid untuk korang, sebab our objective here is more on you guys to come up with a proper reporting punya stages lah, not so much on nak solve the world punya problem, no. Try cari some problem yang semua orang dah solve tapi you guys can adopt it. Maybe kalau nak tambah pun tambah sikit lah korang punya flavor. Instead of using ThinkSpeak Blink, you guys come up with another platform ke yang korang boleh submit ke data tu, tu je. Tapi all the element dah probably define, macam water system tadi, ataupun house alarm system ke, ataupun for example maybe flooding punya sistem. Sebenarnya senang je flooding tu, kalau tengok projek banyak je early warning flooding. Tapi itulah kerajaan tak, sebab yelah in real time sebenarnya susah pun sebenarnya nak implement. Okay, and then make sure it is have an impact on societal environmental. Maksudnya bukan something yang suka-suka macam tune radio automatic, tune radio frekuensi radio tu macam tak berapa sangat lah. Radio, I'm not saying radio tentera ke apa, sorry saya otak saya pagi-pagi ni slow sikit. But radio kereta automatic tune memang dah ada dah pun, and tak ada impact sangat pun kalau tak dengar radio. Saya bawa kereta biasa tak on pun radio. So try to find something that have impact lah for you yourself pun sebenarnya suka benda tu, for example. And make sure it is sustainable, maksudnya bukan one off, pakai bateri lepas tu esok tak berjalan dah, circuit tak stabil ke, for example. So that's how I define sustainability, not so much on green technology, but that the circuit is working day by day. Maksudnya hari tak adalah hari ni kerja, tak tahu semalam okey, hari ni tak jalan, tu tak sustainable lah tu. Okay, so kalau itu maksudnya awak hilang lah bonus mark. Okay, and then circuit design, kalau ada any kind of devices, 555 timer, LED, so kena include everything semua dalam circuit, jangan tinggal satu pun. Even the voltage source must be shown lah, bateri ke apa ke, what kind of voltage source. So make sure it is sustainable in the circuit design. This one last semester punya, so tak valid, so boleh abaikan. Rubrik dah bagi tadi. Okay, this is the jadual yang I think I'm going to follow. Okay, tarikh ni berubah lah sebab tarikh ni kita dah ni tahun lepas punya. Sekarang dah 2022. So today I'm just going to brief to you on the mini project so you can start the work this week. But next week during class, you're going to have to submit to me what is the proposed ideas on the area that you're trying to solve. Appropriate block diagram, I want to see it. How you want to, because if you refer to the, where's the block diagram? Sorry. Did I close it? Sorry. Hold on, yeah. So block diagram, what is the input? What is being processed, and then what is the output. So this is at the very least, you have to define this next week. I want to see this to show that you guys do understand the idea, what is the idea about, what is the input, what is being processed, and what is the output. Okay, block diagram, and then the expected output from the proposed application, not just the buzzer, macam tadi tu buzzer dia. The expected output ni, the overall project punya output yang you guys want to see lah. So this one have to be, I want to see this, I want you to present to me next week. Okay, first and foremost, this week bagi dulu nama group. Satu group tu berapa orang? 4 orang for example maximum. Bagi setiap group tu dalam Google Classroom. Nanti saya akan bagi link Google Classroom ataupun satu komen dalam Google Classroom announcement tu, and then korang komen dalam tu. What is the group, who is the group members, so that I know, and then I will call upon that group to present to me next week on this topic, on these items ni lah, block diagram, ideas tu, and then tajuk tu lah basically, and what is the expected output. Okay, and then that is next week, and then 2 weeks after that, I want to see development, circuit, simulation circuit, and also any kind of 10 to 15 minute Google Meet. Basically, it's for me to help you guys to troubleshoot if there's any issue with your circuit, with your simulation, with your overall project progress. So kat sini lah saya akan tolong korang next 2 weeks during class, right? And also any days yang korang ni lah. Tapi for this Google Meet recorded ni memang saya akan buat time class next 3 weeks. Okay, and then the last week dah start kena submit all your project report, and also I think either submit or present sekaligus lah your presentation. So kejap je, 3 minggu je, so jangan sambil lewat. Saya tahu, saya pun dulu perangai macam korang juga, buat kerja last minute, dah tahu lagi 3 minggu nak submit, 3 minggu tu lah, minggu ketiga tu lah baru nak buat kerja, silap lah. So start to do your work starting next week, 3rd week, and then waktu study week tu yang sepatutnya korang kena cuti tu, now dah tak ada study week, so dah kena terus submit lah, buat presentation and whatnot. Okay, any issues dengan timeline yang dah yang telah saya bagi ni? Any issues so far?
No, sir.
Okay, semua aware sebab saya dah dapat konsensus ni. Saya assume saya dapat konsensus. Kalau tak dapat konsensus, maksudnya semua setuju sebab kalau ada yang tak ada voice out, saya assume semua setuju. Kalau ada voice out, I need a proper justification why we can't follow this timeline. Sebab saya nak make sure awak berjaya ni. Bukan saya sengaja nak buat meeting. Kalau ikutkan saya malas ni, memang after this dah tak ada kelas dah. Saya biar je awak buat projek awak. Tapi saya tak nak sebab saya tahu perangai student kita last minute baru nak buat. So saya nak make sure every week time class kita follow this timeline so that projek awak bergerak. Saya tahu ada test, ada assignment, but at the very least during class tu sepatutnya tak ada benda lain dah, memang kelas saya je. So saya nak awak buat benda ni. Tak nak baru bangun tidur korek mata, kumpul tarik mata lah, apalah, tak nak. Start buat benda ni. Okay, so next week I want to see ideas. What are you trying to solve? Come up with a block diagram and expected output. This is at the very least. If next week korang dah boleh sampai circuit simulation, is much better. Lagi senang kerja korang, lagi smooth korang punya mini project punya progress ni. Sebab sebenarnya next week ni, progression next week terlalu sikit ni sebenarnya ni. So make sure at the very least sampai ni block diagram now expected output. Okay, and finally, project report with necessary project files need to be submitted. So project file ni your circuit punya AutoCAD ke, your Tinkercad ke, your Google file punya drive tu ke, anything that has been submitted, log data semua tu have to be included together with submission of your project report. A demonstration and question and answer will be announced and conducted later during presentation ni lah, which I'm going to announce later lah as the type ni suggest, but most probably during class hours lah, waktu study week tu. Saya tak nak, sebab kalau saya nak buat time lain takut kacau awak punya test lah, assignment semua, so kelas-kelas lain, so saya tak nak, saya nak buat time kelas saya je lah. Okay, so tu saja yang saya nak brief for today for your mini project. I hope everything is clear and everyone is in agreement with me with the timeline especially. Yang ini pun ada dalam your link summary tu, which is this one, mini project. But yang ni tak perlu follow to the T because this is more on previous semester punya discussion. So diorang punya assessment pun lain, tarikh pun lain. Tapi I agree with the timeline, so saya tak nak terlalu kelang kabut sangat. So kita follow week 1, next week, next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks. Cuma kalau boleh lah saya minta semua at the very least dah start buat simulation lah. Okay, I have a call coming in, but apa nama? Kejap
Sorry bro, kelas. Salam. Sorry bro, kelas. Nanti aku call balik.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Alright. Okay, so kalau tak ada apa-apa, we'll end our session today with Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Wal As.